Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your boy, your host with the most, Mr. Shaheener himself, coming at you with another episode of the Pokémon Babblers podcast, and I am of course joined by my co-host, the mistress with the thickness, Bano916 himself. Introduce yourself, King.
Where am I right now? Whose podcast is this? What the hell?
I thought of that like a second ago. I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta do
Whose
something different.
podcast am I on right now?
The mistress with the
Fucking
thickness.
Joe Rogan show right now?
So, tell me about Alchemy. No. Anyways, so we are continuing with our excursion on the 5th generation of Pokemon games, and we are of course talking about Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2. At first, people were like, why are you putting out a sequel to a game? Like, usually you do, like, the alternate version, like Platinum or Emerald.
The definitive version.
Yeah, like the
Which
definitive version.
you could argue this game is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd 100% agree that it is. But then, now in hindsight, people are like, this is one of the best Pokemon games that they ever put out. And I've been in that mindset since it came out. And now people are finally getting on, like, our level about it. It's, like, one of the, like you said, definitive Pokemon games. It has, like, the full gamut, the whole experience on here. And, I love every moment of this game. So anyways, it was announced on February 25th, 2012, and it was released in Japan first, only a few months after the announcement. It was released on June 23rd, 2012, but then it was released in the States on October 7th, 2012.
And we don't care about Europe, so we don't know.
Yeah, I think it came out the same day as the States, yeah?
But yes, this would be the last
No.
game that would release in Japan first, and then the United States and everywhere later.
Exactly. And for the record, for our European viewers, came out in Europe in October 12th, so 5 days after us.
Losers.
So
That's what we all shouted across the East Coast.
oh my god. Like, hey, this game is great. You should join me online. Oh wait.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was the last game that came out separately across the world. Obviously, it kind of shocked everybody when they revealed Black 2 and White 2 because, people were confused. Never had happened before, and generally from the titles, people were like, okay, this seems to be a direct sequel. And then also shocked by the cover art of what the game was, which we'll get to later.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of did take the world by storm. Kind of turned everybody on its head because everybody was ready for Gen 6 or, something else. But we got Black 2 and White 2 and ended up paying off for them.
Yeah.
First thing that separates these things from Black and White is they have backwards compatibility with Black and White in the sense of the Unova link, which you could use to get certain items in the games if you had like save data or you communicated with a black file or a white file to your Black 2 and White 2.
Mm-hmm.
And what that did is that introduced memory link, which would actually trigger in-game cutscenes at certain points of the game, which would reference your player character from Black and White. Now, my name is Red in pretty much every game, so it was kind of confusing when they're like, oh, Red was here, and Red did this, and Red did that, when my new player character's name was Red.
Yeah.
So don't do what I did. But it was a pretty surreal experience like that. Other things that they unlocked were the challenge mode and easy mode. I can't remember if you have to beat the game in order to unlock challenge mode.
Yeah, you have to beat the game for at least challenge mode, I know for sure. But for
I think
easy
mode is unlocked
yeah,
from the beginning.
pretty sure, yeah.
And so this would be the first game where it actually introduced a challenge mode, which has been sorely missed ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And when they say challenge mode, it's not really that much of a challenge. They did increase most levels by 7?
I think so, yeah. And also,
So,
your rewards for the battles, you also get increased money, too.
Money.
Money.
Don't know why. It's not like you're ever hurting for it. But anyway, So yeah, it's like a general level increase across the board by 7. So your first gym leader, instead of being level 12, is level 18 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could pull it up on the gym leaders right there. We could actually get.
You know what I think I'm gonna pull up? I think I'm gonna pull up this monster I'm about to crack open from my boys. Shout out to my fifth squad.
I couldn't tell because it was in a sleeve.
Yeah, it is in a sleeve. You gotta handle your drinks, man. You gotta wear protection.
Oh, they also gave another Pokemon on top of that, at least for Sharon. I don't know about the rest.
Yeah. So levels are kind of similar over here. Okay. I mean, yeah, they increased some levels, but that they added a Pidove to Sharon's team. But yeah, they add. It seems like that they're adding a Pokemon on top of it, and they're upping the levels by like a level or two.
Okay. So they do up the levels by a little bit. They also add more Pokemon, which is great because,
Mhm.
I actually feel like having more Pokemon doesn't equate to difficulty,
Yeah,
but it does make the battle go on a little
yeah,
longer and make it feel more worthwhile. Like you're
yeah,
actually because most trainers have what, 2 to 4 Pokemon, at least in the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
And if you're going up
So,
as a gym leader with like 4 or 5, it actually feels like
yeah.
more. They're more
Also,
of a
they're
seasoned
adding.
trainer.
It seems like that they're adding more hold items too. It seems like that these last two gym leaders added a citrus berry to one of their Pokemon.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, not to like add difficulty, it just more so wastes your power
Not to mention they
points.
add hyper, or they have the
Ye-
potions on them already.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they had them in the original battles too, and then with the eighth gym, yeah, they added
Yeah.
a. Who they added on that one? Mantine. That's like
Yeah.
the
What,
easiest water type Pokemon to beat. Like it
what's
has a
the
quad
level
weak to
discrepancy?
electric. Yeah, it looks like at least level
4 levels?
discrepancy is at least for the Jellicent, it's his ace Pokemon. It's four levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a neat little feature. A lot of people really want it back, at least to give more replayability. Because like if you have to beat the game to unlock it, I think more people would be willing to like beat the game again on challenge mode to see like what
Mm-hmm.
what you can get,
Mm-hmm.
or how if they can beat it.
Yeah, there's a few things that they brought back. Yeah, so move tutors are returned, and that now, for me, this was something that I was very happy that they added as a feature, and I'm surprised that they didn't add it sooner. Is that once you use a repel, and if you have more of that same repel in your bag, it'll ask you if you want to use one right away. Like when it runs out, it'll be like, hey, do you want to use another one? Instead of you going back to your bag, using another repel, and then continuing from there, it'll just automatically use it if you want it to, which is so convenient, especially if you're just trying to like get through an area and you don't have like fly or just want to get to a specific section. It's very, very convenient.
It also helps for repel tricking, which is like trying to search for a Pokemon using certain abilities or having a Pokemon out front in a certain level that
Hmm.
you don't have to go through the hassle of like going through your bag and doing whatnot. You can just keep, mashing the A button as you usually do to just like apply the repel and move on.
Yeah, exactly. Also, this game, since they already had in Pokemon Black and White, they had that the main playthrough is only new Unova Pokemon. That in this game, that everything's back in. Like it's just it's a free for all of just Pokemon that show up. So like early in
Right.
the game, you could find like Riolu and Mareep and things like that. And
Psyduck,
yeah, so,
Azurill,
mm-hmm,
or not? Yeah.
yeah,
No,
Azurill.
Azurill,
Yeah, Azurill. What? What?
the first form.
Yeah, it's
Is it
Azurill.
Azurill?
Yeah, it's Azurill.
Oh, Azurill.
Yeah.
And then what's the it's
Meryl?
Meryl, and then what's the last one?
Azumarill.
Azumarill. Okay, those two names that were confusing me. I was like Azurill, because I remember Azu, but I don't remember
Yeah.
the rest of it.
Oh my god, you're killing me. You're
But
supposed to be the
yeah,
archive.
I
You're s-
am Azu, but I didn't. I rarely ever encounter a fucking Azurill.
Azurill. Like,
Azurill.
is this like your Cool Whip now?
Cool.
Cool Whip.
No, I've just never used Azurill.
Yeah, I don't think anybody uses Azurill because it fucking sucks. Like, it's a baby Pokemon. Like,
It's
you just.
also the one Pokemon that has a 50% chance of being, or no, I think it's more female than male, and then when it evolves, Meryl has a 50% male or female.
And also, it's interesting that with Azurill, that is a normal type when it evolves into
Mm-hmm.
water types, but then they
Mm-hmm.
change it in Generation 6 to be a fairy type, so I guess it becomes more in line with the other evolutions where they're water fairy. But it's interesting
But
that
it's
it's a
still normal
completely
fairy.
unrelated type that ends up becoming a completely different type when it evolves.
Side tangent on Azurill.
Yeah, exactly. Shout
But
out
yeah,
to all my
they
Azurill
definitely
fans.
they definitely step up the amount of like Pokemon that they added
Hmm.
because like you said, you do. I believe Route 19 is where you start, and it's a 50-50 between Patrat and Purloin, and then the route after that, you have access to the Philosophy Ranch, which has the Pokemon we just described,
Yeah.
and then also the route after that has like a plethora of Pokemon like Pidove, Sawaddle, Venipede, also Sunkern is in there.
Hmm.
I know that. But they definitely do. It's like it goes on more throughout the rest of the game. So it is nice to see.
That they
Yeah,
sprinkled it in.
they sprinkled it in. Black and White was cool. It did give me a lot of what do you call it? Respect for more Gen 5 Pokemon, but I just didn't feel like it was the full experience until we got Black and White 2, and you could just like catch other Pokemon to incorporate with your Gen 5 Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And obviously they've learned because they've kept that ever since.
Yeah, exactly. Because I thought it was really cool because it was just it was like recreating the Gen 1 experience in a way where it's like you don't have any reference to anything, you're just kind of going through it, and then it's like they add the familiar at the end of the game. But I did want to kind of go back to the familiar, at least with one part of the generation, because it was so good, is that like if you just go one way, it's like you kind of miss out. So it's good that they incorporated everything. Also,
I would say
yeah.
going forward, just do like 3 like if for a new Pokemon game, just have like the first 3 routes have like straight new Pokemon, and then after that go crazy.
Yeah, I could see that. I could agree with that. Also, they added legendaries in the post game from Hoenn and Sinnoh. So
Yeah, I think this would start the trend of like adding legendaries that aren't in, like giving you legendaries so that you can have them.
yeah,
Like
Latios and
Oras
Latias
had access to everything.
Mhm.
X and Y had Mewtwo, and then Sun and Moon had everything as well, or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Mhm.
I feel like this is the beginning of that trend of like trying to hand you every legendary.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm always cool with more legendaries. Except for showing Heatran in every freaking game now. Like, Jesus Christ, they shove Heatran down our throats. It's like, enough.
Up next, they did introduce Zorua and Zoroark in this game without having any special events or any special triggers,
Yeah.
as well as the TM95 Snarl.
Yeah. Which you got by a
Without it.
really weird means in Black and White where you
No,
had
you didn't even get it.
No, I'm pretty sure I got it by the they had that link that they had.
Yeah, no, that what we talked about it last week. That wasn't available. It was never an event that triggered. So Snarl wasn't in the game.
Why am I making a false memory? Like,
Probably.
oh my
Like
god.
literally, that was like the final topic of the last video was that TM95 Snarl was locked in the capsule, and they didn't activate the event, so Snarl was never available.
Well, I mean, it's not like it matters because Snarl's a shit move anyways.
Right, Snarl was just like a semi decent move, but it's
Yeah.
just weird that they decided to like put it in a capsule and then
Yeah.
never initiate the
I
event.
swear to maybe I might have actually replayed it because I swear to God I remember seeing it like on my DS. And I'm pretty sure on Black and White I was playing on a fat DS, like my original fat DS, or maybe a DS Lite. I can't remember. Yeah,
thick DS.
Yeah.
In this Discord.
Sorry, thick DS. Okay.
Moving on from there, and a new side game introduced in this generation,
Yeah.
like in between Black and White 2 or Black and White and Black and White 2, is the mini game called the Dream Radar, which
Yes.
was released just solely for the 3DS,
3DS,
I believe.
Yeah. So this was like this game came out in 2012. So this was like the weird in between where they're trying to transition from the DS to the 3DS because 3DS came out in 2011. And
They
so
also did
yeah.
Pokédex 3D, right? Which had just the
Yeah.
Pokédex.
Yeah, they had the Pokédex 3D, which was free, and it was a limited release because they removed it to add the Pokédex Pro, which you had to pay $15 for. But yeah, but with the Dream Radar, it was released on the 3DS eShop, and it was like it wasn't that expensive. It was like $7, right?
Side tangent. Before March 23rd, 2023, pick up Pokemon Dream Radar.
Yeah, like get whatever things you can from the eShop right now because after 2023, after my birthday on 2023, then it's all gone, and the only way you can get it is via...
Do like some flash warnings right now, like whoop whoop whoop. Yeah, because they are shutting down the eShop, and if you do not purchase those games and have them on your DS, there's no way to re-download, or is there? I don't think you can re-download them.
I don't know, but you
We'll
don't want to
see.
risk it. You don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather
make sure you
it
have
on there.
Yeah, get like a big SD card, load all your shit on there because once it's gone, it's gone. Unless you want to go by nefarious purposes, which I cannot endorse.
Right. Or buy like a like a scalped DS that has a bunch of it
by
on
some
there.
shithead selling them for like $1,000.
Yeah, I guarantee you some shithead is gonna buy up a bunch of 3DSs and just download it all and then try to sell them off.
Wait. Buying a bunch of 3DSs? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean buy a bunch of 3DSs?
Yeah, scalper.
No, I just like collecting, man. I just like collecting.
Anyway,
Don't shame me, bro.
Dream Radar was an AR functionality game that utilized the 3DS's front two cameras and had you basically, it was like a shooting game. It had you like shoot these orbs with your camera and whatnot, and then at the end of the little excursion, you would get a encounter with a Pokemon. And that Pokemon would have its hidden ability, and there was a limited list of Pokemon. If you could pull that up while I keep talking about it. It wasn't super broken. It was just like a small handful of Pokemon, nothing too crazy. I do remember like Staryu and Swablu, I believe, were on there. Yeah, there you go, right there. Porygon, Igglybuff, Shuckle. I guess Shuckle's broken.
Yeah,
Ralts. Yeah, Bronzor, Spiritomb, Riolu. But yeah, it was a fun mini game. I remember playing it, but the biggest draw to it was the fact that it gave you access to the new trio. Yeah, the Kami trio.
With their new forms, and also all the other legendaries that they had offered had hidden abilities too. Yeah, but the big draw, like Bano said, were the Kami trio with their new Therian forms.
Well, Kami Quartet as a
Quartet. Yeah,
January 2023.
Yeah, Enamorous.
Or 2022. But yeah. So yeah, I have really fond memories of this. I will go ahead and say this as a preface. When I went to school, at least for the first go around in 2012, I took night school, and so the bathrooms were pretty much empty at like 9 o'clock at night. So that's when I'd whip out my DS and use the Dream Radar in the Sierra College bathrooms.
When you were saying whip out, I was
whip it out.
I was about to cut the episode.
But yeah, the Therian forms I think are really cool. I like them way more than their regular forms.
Way more.
Just because it gives them more character than just some guy crossing his arms.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I very much agree with that, because it's just like, because they all look so similar, and then the Therian forms made them actually look distinct.
Right.
And I don't know, I kind of wanted to have them after that. But
right.
Even like I remember getting, because I got all the Pokemon, all the legendaries in this game. But the Ho-Oh with Regenerator, that was sick as hell.
And there are like certain things to it. You do have to own previous games in order to get them, as it says right there.
Yeah.
You have to have Soul Silver, Heart Gold, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum.
Yeah, so
unfortunately, the Beldum was Japan exclusive, or was it not?
Special extension, Japan, international. No, you could get it. You just had to. You just had to do a code.
A button combination.
Yeah, button combination. Like,
so
what is this, freaking Konami?
I was gonna say, I can understand the Veldum. Slowpoke, I can kind of understand, but I don't get why we had Hoot Hoot as like a special unlock.
Hoot Hoot is very special.
Yeah. Dream Radar, pick it up. It's a very fun game. It is a little bit dated. I wouldn't mind if they did something on mobile like this again.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like the same thought of like the Dream World. Dream Radar was pretty good. I know like Pokemon Go just has like a solid grip on like the mobile Pokemon fan base, but I feel like Pokemon games like the Dream World and Dream Radar could flourish on mobile today.
Yeah, and I'd like them to flourish as long as they're not riddled with microtransactions. Just like, I don't think that's gonna happen anymore. I feel like that kind of like day and age of like mobile games with just an upfront fee is over. Either it's completely free or it's like free to start.
And I even feel like with Pokemon Go, I'm not like pressured they do have the ads, but I don't feel that pressure to buy anything.
Yeah, it's not like the pressure of it, it's the principle of it. Because, it's just something where I don't want, like, the experience to be hindered when they stop you to be like, hey, you have to wait like 5 hours or you could just give us like a couple $. I'm like,
well, you do say that because Dream Radar did have a wait. You could only do it for a while before you had to do it, and then if you wanted to get it immediately, you had to pay. What was it? The pass coins?
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That you got
the
from
street
walking.
pass coins, but you didn't have to pay for those.
You didn't have to pay for them, but you did have to wait.
But luckily, while we were going through community college, we got those things like candy. Basically, you maxed out on that so easily that like I didn't even think twice on that one. I don't even think I was like hindered at all.
But yes, Dream Radar, pick it up, fully endorsed.
Yeah, I support it.
going forward, we'll go ahead and talk about the box legendaries as it's been a while and you can see them right there.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you can tell that it still is Zekrom and Reshiram respectively on their versions, but or actually switched because White had Zekrom on there and now you have Kyurem.
Mm-hmm.
So to serve as a direct sequel, it does give you the opposite legendary on your version, which
Mm-hmm.
I still didn't do. I think I did black and then I got white
Mm-hmm.
too and played that.
Yeah, I did. I flipped it too because I got white and then I got black too.
Yeah, just because I like Reshiram that much. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, this would be the first game where they introduced the concept of Pokemon Fusion, which
Mm-hmm.
hasn't been seen since, except for a select few Pokemon.
Yeah. Also, this was the first game where I pre-ordered it from Best Buy instead of
Hmm.
GameStop because GameStop, after my experience the last year with Black and White's pre-order, I picked up from Best Buy but I did end up walking to the Best Buy because I don't think I had a car at
Hmm.
that point, so I walked
Hmm.
over there to pick it up.
So
Yeah.
yes, this would introduce the forms of Black Kyurem and White Kyurem, as that is the Pokemon they fuse with, and that is like the main Pokemon in this game that should be on the cover, but is secondary to the forms,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool. Kyurem in the first game had no real thing. It was a nice like secret legendary that you could go out and get.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were, kind of upset because it just had nothing to it. There was no lore. There wasn't like any like event to it. You just went to the area,
Mm-hmm.
went through the puzzle and found it. It's kind of like a Giratina in that sense, but
Yeah.
Giratina got the limelight in Platinum, so I did get the Giratina experience of this game because
Yeah.
you do get it and then do all that stuff. However, you don't catch the fused Pokemon. You have to fuse it on your own later,
Mm-hmm. But
which
I
we'll
do
cover later.
like that they delve more into Kyurem because, as we mentioned in the last episode as well, is that, and also as you just said right now, is like it got the Giratina experience where in the original game it's just like it's there post game, but then its character really got delved into in the definitive edition.
Hmm.
And so I like that they did that. I like that they gave it a spotlight because especially a Dragon Ice type is a really cool type. It's
Yeah,
a
I was gonna say, and
it's a
checking
it's
it
a
up, they
really cool typing.
cool experience. And checking it out, they do retain the Kyurem's typing of Dragon Ice. They don't
Yeah.
change to Dragon
Hmm.
Electric or Dragon Fire like
Yeah.
Reshiram or
And
Zekrom.
I
They
was
do
thinking
have
about that
access.
just now. It's like it wouldn't make sense for it to be Dragon Ice or Dragon Fire or Dragon Electric. I think it makes sense for it to stay as Dragon Ice. Uh,
They do get a special move, right? But I believe it's still an
uh,
Ice type move.
I think so. Is it Glaciate?
No, it's Ice Burn and Free Shock
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
are the exclusive moves to the forms.
Mm-hmm.
And so it combines like its first thing, but it's still just an ice type move. Visually, they're pretty cool looking. I don't mind them. It just kind of looks like a is a mishmashed amalgamation of the
Mm-hmm.
two. When it comes to competitive wise, they are pretty fucking strong. I know Kyurem Black is used a lot, but yeah, I think it's used a lot mainly because it's typing. Ice Dragon's pretty solid. Because Dragon already
It's pretty
resists.
frozen
Yeah,
solid, eh?
it's pretty frozen solid. Dragon resists fire. I think
Yeah.
it also resists dragon because it's ice or
Mm-hmm.
dragon is neutral.
Yeah.
So you're really only hitting it with steel, I believe, and obviously fairy.
Let's see.
Moving on, they did change some breeding mechanics in this game. So
Mm-hmm.
now this is the first game we're giving the Everstone to a female. I don't know if it's female or just a parent in general.
I think it's just in
Would
general.
would pass down its nature. So if you had a Abra with a modest nature but crap IVs and you want to get a reroll on that, give it the Everstone,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the subsequent eggs would be Abras with modest natures, which really helped out in breeding.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is like the first step they took into making breeding more accessible to people, whereas before it was kind of like a you'd have to go on like GameFAQs and look up every little detail on how
Yeah.
to actually like breed a competitive Pokemon or
Mm-hmm.
watch a YouTube video that lasted 25 minutes
Yeah.
on how to do it. Whereas as it goes on into Gen 6 and then to Gen 7 didn't do much, but Gen 8 definitely made it a lot more easier.
Yeah. Also, this is the first generation where the mother will pass down its ability because in previous games it was always a 50-50. If it had two abilities, it'd be a 50-50 of what ability it got. But now it's just like purely based on the mother's ability,
Which
which
really put a premium on Dream World female Pokemon.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, the
because they have the hidden
aftermarket.
abilities.
Yeah, the aftermarket for Dreamworld female Pokemon on eBay is pretty crazy right now. No,
Yeah, you go to the Pokemon Black Market Bazaar, and they're like,
yeah.
I got a
Is
fucking
that the
multi-scale
exclusive?
Dratini.
Is that the exclusive on Black Two? Is the black market?
Yeah, the Black Market. You find
the
it in
black
Black City.
the black market and the white bazaar.
Yeah, the White Bazaar, and you're like, I got a multi-scale female Dratini,
How $2,000? Like, wait, do you mean Poke
$2,000.
dollars? Like, no, U.S. dollars.
Yeah, or a coin case.
Yeah.
Because I miss my casinos.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, that definitely was the beginning of the trend to help put people get into competitive battling. Because before
Hmm.
it was restricted a lot by uh just the hoops that you had to go through for breeding.
The hoopas you had to go through.
Because you can catch like some decent Pokemon out there, but you wouldn't be able to get like a 5 IV like good Pokemon to get online and battle with.
Hmm.
But moving on from that, we're going to talk about Entralink changes because they definitely rehauled the entire Entralink in this game. So no longer, at least I believe so, can you travel to people's world. I believe I don't think you can travel to people's worlds in this game anymore. I
I
believe
don't
the
think
only way
so.
it works is that you go to the tree and then ask for a mission like you did
You asked her
before.
for forgiveness.
But the missions are like completely changed as before in Black and White. You'd have to like go and then like there's some missions like, hey, sell this item to a trainer, or B, like place a invisible item in their world.
Hmm.
Now it's just like find berries or find lost items, and it just triggers in the overworld with like some sparkles, and you go over and grab it, and then it'll give you the item, and then
Hmm.
that's how you complete your FunFest missions. Really, not much has changed other than the fact that they've removed the ability to like travel to other people's worlds and like be an avatar in that person's world, just because like I think they realized that it took too long to like connect to do it, and it was such a limited area that while cool, I don't think people cared much about it.
Hmm.
So they just removed that functionality entirely, but they did have it to where they would like keep track of like if you did a mission and people accepted it, they would keep like a scoreboard of where people are, and like overall, you'd have your personal score of like what you got, but the mission would only be like, oh, we need 25 items. So if you got 20 and then the other guy got 25, it would just combine together, but you'd both still pass the mission
Hmm. Right.
and receive the rewards from it.
Yeah, because I don't think I bother with Entralink in Black and White 2. I think I just like dabbled with it in Black 1,
Mhm.
so all this is news to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did add new pass powers, only a couple though,
Hmm.
which were the for the new mechanic, which I believe is the shaking grass. Was shaking grass? I don't think shaking
I
grass was in
think
Black and
it.
White,
I
was it?
want to say it was. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure Shaking Grass was in Pokemon Black and White. Let's see.
Either or, the pass power in Black and White 2 made it so that shaking grass came up
Yeah.
more.
Mm.
It was
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
okay. So the pass power like made it encounter more. The other one that I know that I was going for recently is the lucky power, which
Hmm.
made it so that you'd encounter rare Pokemon even more. But if you got to lucky power level 3, it actually gave you an extra roll
Hmm.
for
Of finding the rare Pokemon.
for finding rare Pokemon, but it also increases your shiny odds. It
Ooh.
gives you an extra roll on your shiny odds on top of another
Nice.
item that they introduced in this game that we'll talk about later. But yeah, so essentially you'd get another roll on your shiny power, shiny roll, the Grotto power, which is a new mechanic they added in this game, and then I believe the
Hmm.
exploring power is
Yep.
another one that they added.
Yep.
But
That
yeah,
makes
pass
sense.
powers work differently. Now you have to like use you get them from your drop down menu. You can't like go to someone's world, go to their tree, grab the pass power, run over to them, and give it to them.
Hmm.
So yeah, they rehauled the entire Enterlink during the 1 year between, or like was it 1 year between these games?
Yeah, it was like maybe a year.
Right. So they
Yeah.
did that. They also introduced the new area called the Joint Avenue, which I have absolutely no experience with, but
Same.
just getting the Cliff Notes version, it relies on Street Pass or like connecting to a global link and getting people to quote unquote like run through your Joint Avenue, and it would track like that it would track like traffic like or people that you waved by or passed by or whatever,
Hmm.
and then if you go to your joint avenue and talk to them, it would level up, and that would give you access to certain facilities, which would give you benefits to your game, like hatching eggs faster, or finding eggs faster, or EV training, or getting rare items, or getting the lottery and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Essentially, you'd get it, and then like you'd get access to all these areas and whatnot, and receive certain items and stuff like that. I didn't experience it too much. I have seen videos of people with like fully maxed out joint avenues, and that's great for them. But I just didn't see the appeal of it at the time, and mainly that's just because of the limited internet access you had on a Nintendo DS Lite or a
Hmm.
DS,
Yeah,
rather
because
than like a Switch or a 3DS.
yeah, because the 3DS, like, I mean, they added a lot of functionality for the 3DS, even though this game technically can be played on a DS. But like on DSi and 3DS, they added a lot more features. But still, it's just not something that like I would have been interested in the first place.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'd rather work on the other aspects of the game than join Avenue. So
Right.
I
I
never
fig-
attempted it.
I think something like this would flourish right now in the era of the Switch because just when you connect now on Sword and Shield, there's just still so many people playing Sword and Shield, and
Yeah.
the ease of connectivity is so much more easier.
You know
I
what's
mean, granted,
crazy
there is a little
too?
bit of a lag, but
Yeah, what's crazy is that
but,
Sword and Shield are the second highest selling Pokemon games of all time right now,
mhm,
right behind Red and Blue.
mhm,
Yeah, and they're also one of the highest selling games on the Switch, obviously. But yeah, it's
right,
just crazy on how many they sold. I think they sold like it was like 23 million copies now, like
right,
some crazy amount.
and they're
Yeah,
getting most of those idiots for an internet charge of
yeah,
$20 a year.
yeah, soy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Hey,
But yeah,
Dynamax
I feel like
Adventures though slaps. I
right.
will take that with me.
I feel like something like this would flourish in today's day and age, but back then, I don't know.
Yeah,
You'd have to be
and
really
maybe it was ahead of
dedicated
its
to it.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on from that, we do have access to a new area called the Royal Unova, which I
Yeah.
believe is a ship that appeared. What is like a daily thing, I believe. It's towards
Yeah.
the bottom of the game section on the right.
Yeah. 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 Uh,
You might want to take this one because I don't really remember it that
I don't
much.
really remember it that much to be honest either. It was just basically I think it's just like the same as like the SS Anne, but you could just go to it at random times and you could just battle people and get stuff.
Mhm,
And yeah, so like they have a list of trainers that you could battle and just depending on if it's like pre Elite 4, post Elite 4.
mhm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing really special about it. It's just that
I'd
it
say
was
if
just
you
like
go to the top,
SSN.
I do think that they're just trying to show off the DS's power right there with the
Yeah.
3D
Mhm.
going over
Yeah,
the
the
bridge.
visuals.
Hmm
Mhm. But yeah, that's
But
pretty much it with the Royal Unova. Like
a completely new feature they added this game would be the hidden grottos, which I believe you
yes.
get access to right after the fourth gym.
Yeah, we talked about it actually in I think the first episode of Babblers, I want to say. We scratched
Mm-hmm.
the surface on Grottos just a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Yeah. So,
The
yeah.
hidden grottos are like this little area that you have to like really pay attention for to see, or just go online and look up. But basically, what it is it's like a little den in between the trees that you go into, and it's supposed to be like a Pokemon's den or a hidden grotto that has a chance of spawning an item that could be of multitude of things, or a very very rare chance of having a Pokemon that has its hidden ability as well. And
Mhm.
I believe the chart is there somewhere, but there are some really really rare Pokemon that you can get that have like you can see right there, like the 1%
Yeah.
encounters,
Yeah, the Grand Bull with Rattle.
right? That would have their hidden ability. I believe the one by the first game's place. Yeah,
Gale
there it is right
Dragonite?
there. Yeah, the
Yeah,
1%
Reddick.
multi-scale Dragonite.
That's insane.
And you can see right there, because we talked about it earlier, it has a premium on the female, so it has a
Uh-huh.
10% chance of being female to pass on that multi-scale.
Yeah. And I forget what multi-scale is about. It's
It's
this is the amount of damage taken when HP is full.
So essentially, you
That's
give
cool.
this thing a what's it called? A Habanberry for
Mhm.
if it gets hit by a dragon move, which boosts its attack, and then you also are guaranteed to survive because of multi-scale.
Dang.
Like that was like the strat back in Gen 5 with the Dragonite at least.
Yeah. And also, I didn't even realize that there's only two Pokemon that got it in this generation. It's the Lugia on Dream Radar and then Dragonite. That's it.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
But
Like,
yes, hidden grottos are cool. Maybe I think they could do well if they were brought into games now,
I
but
I think Dens have replaced it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
unfortunately,
mean,
yeah, that's just. I think it's just like they're not going to do it because they already have dens and they're like visually similar.
they are. I don't know. It's just like with these, you go in and out. If there's a Pokemon there, you battle it. If there's an item there, you pick it up.
Yeah.
But with the dens, you're like, you go in there and then you get like whatever
Oh
Pokemon
man.
is there is there.
Heracross with Moxie, that's sick. Yeah, before we get too carried away, yeah, there's another edition of medals, which are kind of like a it's kind of like a version of like achievements, I guess, because this was in the age that like the achievements were prevalent in gaming. So I guess this is
Right.
their like in-game version of achievements. Just kind of like basic stuff. You get them quite a bit, and there's a guy in the Pokemon Center, I believe, that would give you the medals, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So you just talk to the Medal Master, and he'd just give you like, oh, you take this many steps, or you save the game, or whatever it is. He'll just give you medals for like every possible reason. Like, look how many
Basically
freaking
achievements.
medals there are. Like, this is absurd. Earn all the challenge medals. Yeah. There's so many. Collect all the medals. I wonder if how many. I wonder if that's like a challenge. Like, if anybody's even done that.
I'm pretty sure there has been, but I just don't see the benefit in doing
Yeah.
something like that
Same.
other than the challenge.
Exactly. Exactly. I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But unless if it like
There-
transferred over. But yeah. But
right. There
then
is a new subquest they added on this game. It's called the dropped item
I didn't even know
subquest.
about this until today.
I knew about it, but I knew it more for the trades than I did about the whole quest.
Yeah.
It starts in Nimbasa City when you go there and you find a dropped item, and somebody will actually call you the moment you pick it up. And at first they won't like it's just like sound only or whatever. And then you just keep talking to them, and then there's a couple more locations that you can see that you go to actually find this item until you actually get and call them, and then they reveal themselves to be either Yancey if you're playing as a male character, or Curtis if you're playing as a female character,
Mhm.
which I don't think they give a shit about Curtis, so they don't actually show him.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Fuck Curtis.
Um,
All my homies hate Curtis.
but yeah, the benefit of this is it's kind of weird because it kind of like has like undertones of like a romance story,
Yeah.
which was came out of nowhere for these games. But the biggest benefit of it is the fact that you can actually trade with Yancey or Curtis after you've completed the if you after you've called them a certain number of times, and they actually will just trade you for these Pokemon for any Pokemon like
Mm-hmm.
at all. And they also have their unique trainer ID, as well
Mm-hmm.
as the owner name for being from them.
Mm-hmm.
And so this actually, helped you with completing your Pokedex. I believe that's what function this serves as, but also, it was just a neat little thing to get.
Yeah, and there are some exclusive Pokemon per character, like at least the EC versus West Sea Shellos and
Hmm.
Cranidos versus Shieldon.
Hmm.
Uh,
Mawile,
yeah,
Sableye.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, they had a couple changes between the two. Uh,
But
yeah,
yeah, this is a neat little thing. It was definitely like a niche and hidden for
mm-hmm.
whatever reason.
Yeah, as hidden as the dropped item itself.
Right. So it was, I don't know. It's just out of left field. I feel like they added this, but like, I give kudos to whoever did it, but I just don't see like how this made it past
Yeah,
like as part like somebody coded this and spent the time to do this, but I can't
yeah,
imagine like their boss was like, do it, yeah, this is a great idea, let's roll with it.
yeah. Also, it's like, have they even shown these characters since Gen 5?
Nope.
Yeah, I was like, maybe they'll bring them back at some point, but like, and who's gonna remember them? The swarms come back, but also
But yeah,
there's some new Pokemon that are added in there.
I
Uh,
don't think we talked about it in the original Black and White
did we
episode, but
not?
yes, I don't think we did. But swarms are, just like you'd go to a route, and they really made functionality of this because you do walk up to like the TV right there in between routes, and you get like a little news droplet, and it would be like, oh, swarm of X on route or whatever. As
Yeah.
opposed to in Gen 4, we had to go talk to Dawn's sister, and then she'd
Mhm.
tell you there.
Yeah.
You could be anywhere in Unova traveling, and then just see it and be like, oh,
Mhm.
there's Swellow on whatever route. I want to go look for that. Or there's Ariados and whatnot. Like I said, this is
Yeah.
just another mechanic to help you increase your Pokedex.
Mhm.
If you don't actually have access to like Fire Red and Leaf Green or Heart Gold and Soul Silver to make the transfer up, you aren't completely screwed and can catch some Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And none of these look like they're broken or like or
yeah, they're just kind of
too
standard, like
busted.
run of the
Yeah.
mill Pokemon.
Yeah, which isn't too
Yeah.
bad. I
Yeah,
mean,
you're not gonna find like Technician Breloom over
right.
here.
Every Pokemon is someone's favorite, so I'm pretty sure somebody
Yeah.
was happy to have an outbreak of Quagsire and whatnot. I have seen
Yeah.
somebody do because they do increase like the odds of finding these Pokemon incredibly
Hmm.
while the swarms are active. I have seen people hunt the swarms in Black and White too for shinies. I think I saw some guy
Interesting.
do was it Ariados, Pineco, and Masquerain. Yeah,
Ooh, shiny Masquerain. I forget what that looks like.
it's green.
Oh, that's sick. I really like that actually.
Yeah,
That's
so they are possible to do. Obviously, they're like super increased odds, so you will find them a lot. I just don't know how long those swarms last,
hmm
so
yeah,
that could be a deciding factor. But yeah, they're pretty neat
yeah,
Pokemon to
that's pretty
look
cool.
for.
That's pretty cool. So next up will be the Pokedex rewards. So
Hmm.
this game had a lot of cool rewards for completing the Pokedex and the Univadex. So if you've seen all the Pokemon, not like catching them, just seeing all of them, you have an opportunity to fly from what's the city with Skyla? Um,
Mistralton.
yeah, Mistralton. So you get a chance to fly from Mistralton to a special area where you can encounter a shiny Haxorus. It's just like out there in the
Yes.
overworld, which
If you talk
was yeah.
to Professor Juniper,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a full completed national deck, she will
Yeah.
give you the ticket, which you can redeem
Mm-hmm.
at the airport to fly to the nature. Is it the nature preserve?
I believe so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, and there's an interactable shiny Haxorus hanging
Yeah.
out in the middle there.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
much like the shiny Gyarados, you do have it, but I do feel like the shiny Haxorus is a reward.
yeah,
Obviously for
rather than
when
part of the
you're
plot.
yeah, which
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like they should add more. Like I feel like more Pokemon should be rewarded for certain tasks.
Yeah.
But you also get the Oval Charm for catching all the
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon in the Univadex, as well as the newest addition to the Pokemon franchise, at least of this game, the Shiny Charm,
Shiny Charm.
which
Ah,
made your odds go from 1 in 8,192 in this game to 1 in 4,096.
which is a godsend. I like.
Yeah,
Why didn't they bring the sooner? Like,
yeah.
it's crazy that the shiny charm had to be introduced in freaking like the definitive edition of a game.
Right. It also, like talked about earlier with the pass power, if you do have the Shiny Charm and then you use that certain pass power, the Lucky Power 3, I believe your odds drop down to 1 in 1,024.
Mm.
So it did help out with black and white shiny hunting.
Mm.
I do think I see people still do like the full odds, so it's 1 in 8,192. But if it were up to me and I had everything, I would do double encounters with the shiny charm and the pass power,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whatever
just
you
because I'm
can.
that kind of dopamine. Give me the dopamine hit now
Yeah,
rather than
instant gratification.
months.
Yeah.
So there is that. You can hunt however you want, but I am thankful for the shining charm going
Mm.
forward and stuff like that.
Yeah, same here. I very much am thankful for that because, and also, there's not that many times where you're introduced to a shiny Pokemon, in the
Mhm.
like in the actual game. Like
Right.
in Legends, they had the shiny Ponyta mission, but
Mm.
there's not that many times where that happens directly. So it's cool that we got the, especially with a Haxorus. Like shiny
Right.
Haxorus is really cool as it is,
I'll save
but it's
my
also
full
just
thoughts.
yeah,
I'll save my full thoughts for the Gen 2 episode, but I really feel
yeah,
like the shiny Gyarados is like a I don't know. It might have been because I was so young, but it was like a bad introduction to the fact that there were shiny Pokemon. I thought
yeah,
that it was just like a gift, and that the Gyarados was like, it was it was shiny because of the event that was going on.
yeah.
But it was supposed to serve as like, oh hey, all Pokemon could be shiny. I just didn't get that at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I got it, but also, like you said, let's talk about it in the Gen 2 episode.
Another thing I don't believe we talked about in the Black and White episode, which is kind of like tragic because it's
Yeah, it's a
the
big
thing
deal in the games. It's something that people will like,
is
remember from this game.
yeah, is the Cynthia battle that you
Yeah,
get by running into a house in Undella. As you're
Undella.
exploring and doing what you do, you just go into this random house in Undella town, and the fucking piano starts playing, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, and you
And
end up fighting fucking Cynthia.
with a full on just like
Yeah,
maxed
full
out
six.
team, like level
Yeah,
like high 70s team.
yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, you only get to that area like post game, right?
Hmm.
But like she like you would not expect it. It's just some unpresuming house, and you can't like walk out of the house either. She just shows up to you and she's
No.
like, "Hey, let's battle, let's go." And
Yeah, as
you're
soon
just
as it
like,
starts, the battle triggers, and God forbid if you're unprepared.
yeah, I think I got duped into that when I was playing on my first time. I was like, "Wait, what is happening?"
All right.
And I think I got my ass
Um,
handed to me.
I believe it is a daily event too, so you can battle her more than once.
Yeah, yeah, because in that one, I think you get like 15,000 for beating her there. Which,
Nice.
yeah,
I don't think it's worth it. I don't think she's
mhm.
a money grind spot.
Yeah,
Definitely not. I
no,
really wish they would introduce the VS Seeker
hmm
again because I feel like well, I'm not with Sword and Shield because they added the tournament which gives you which I think the first time you beat it pays you out like 1,000,000 Poké Dollars.
yeah,
But every subsequent run after that pays you like a couple thousand, like 30,000 or something like that.
mm.
But I think the VS Seeker was just like a good item back in Gen 3
It
that I'd like to
was,
see return.
it was. Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see something like that come back. But
Something completely new that they added, moving on from the Cynthia Battle in Driftvale City. Gone is the frozen area, which I think it still exists,
mm-hmm.
but you just can't access it anymore, and it's been replaced with a new attraction, the PWT, or as it's better known, the Pokemon World
World
Tournament.
Tournament. Yes.
So what this did, it brought back trainers from every previous generation, Gen 1 through Gen 4, and put them into different brackets. I believe you have the Unova Leaders Tournament, the Gym Leaders Tournament, or yeah, Kanto Leaders Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Going through all of them, and then it would do a bracket of randomly selected trainers, and they would have access to their own teams and whatnot. And it definitely like has hints of a Battle Frontier vibe because you are battling like specific trainers and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. um but yeah, I remember doing it a couple times. I don't remember like feeling the need to like challenge every tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have access to a bunch of them, and I do like seeing all the sprites for the trainers coming back
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. It was nice to see everything, including Giovanni and whatnot.
I never
And
actually bothered with the Pokemon World Tournament. I feel like this is a big thing that I missed.
yeah, it was pretty cool. I remember doing both the Kanto, Johto, and Hoenn ones.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I did the Sinnoh ones, but like I said, it's nice because you're like seeing it right here as you're scrolling by. It's nice to like imagine what like a full 6-on-6 fight, what
Yeah,
these people would have been like in their own respective games.
exactly. Also, I gotta say, as I'm looking at these as well, why does Whitney not have rollout on her Miltank?
It's got Milk Drink though, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
it's female. And oh, it
yeah.
doesn't have a tract either.
No. Yeah, what happened? Like they
They
look how
had
they
to tone
massacred.
they had to
Yeah.
tone her down because like
Yeah.
she's too
Because she would have been
powerful.
too OP.
She would have been too OP. But there are multiple brackets. There are tournaments for the gym leaders as well as the Elite Four,
Yeah.
as well as a typing tournament, which I believe mixes regular trainers with a couple gym leaders.
Yeah.
And then the final one, which is the Champions tournament, which is just
Oh,
a
yeah. Let me
mishmash of champions from previous
yeah,
games.
let me go
So
back
you
to
have
so,
it's like
Champions Tournament.
Lance, Wallace,
Yeah, Blue.
Blue, um, Steven, Cynthia, and
Uh,
I believe they have the Gen 5
Alder
ones. Yeah,
and
Alder,
Red.
Red. Yeah. So it's definitely
Charizard with a focus sash.
yeah.
Jesus.
Well, because rocks were such a
Yeah.
hazard in this generation.
Right. And
Poor
then
thing.
also Alder had the choice scarf and the choice band.
Hmm.
Dang. Oh my god, these would be brutal. Garchomp with a focus sash as well. Oh my
She
god.
downgraded for a Glaceon over her Milotic.
I yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you heard me right. Don't look confused into the camera. You heard me
Fuck
right.
you.
You heard me right. She downgraded. Anyway,
I don't want to hear your
yes, these
bullshit.
tournaments were really cool. It was really nice to see. I would love to see this return. Um, I just don't know how they do it
Yeah.
because it was definitely like a hassle to go through all these tournaments just to like get it. There's not really a reward. It's just more
Yeah.
BP.
Yeah, exactly.
And
The
another
world
big thing
leaders.
about this that did like kind of
Oh god. So
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was looking at like what the names of these tournaments are, and I saw the World Leaders Tournament, and for a split second I thought they meant like the actual leaders of our world, like at the
Yeah,
time like President Obama. And
yeah.
like oh my god, imagine.
I
Like
mean,
you're
I'd pay to see Joe Biden fight Margaret Thatcher on live television.
Oh,
Yeah,
Elisa,
but they
what are
also
you doing? Why do you have Stunfisk on your team? What are
That's
you
the electric type.
doing? That's so disgusting.
I would have preferred to see her have like an Electivire or something.
Yeah, like literally anybody. Well, at least Chile got it right with Darmanitan on the team. That's a
Hmm.
man of culture right there.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see like what the trainers would do, like have the full team of six be.
Yeah.
The one biggest thing that they added were the download tournaments, which were things you could only get from I believe it's what Global Link, yeah.
Yeah.
And these actually had trainers that actually won the 2012
Pokemon World Tournament.
VGC
Yeah, the VGC tournament. Yeah.
VGC tournament in their own respective divisions. And so these trainers are in, obviously you can't download it anymore, but for games that have the tournaments down, these people will go down, they'll
Mhm.
always be in the game forever.
Yeah. That's so wild. And then you
But
have
yeah,
these gym leader battles.
hmm
That's
yeah, but then you have more download terms.
yeah.
But I would say the biggest one is the VGC one
Yeah.
because that would be like a huge thing to see, win and then see yourself in the game
Oh
with
my
your
god.
team that you won the world championship
Winona
with.
with a Rayquaza. That's so cool. Yeah, the junior division championship. Oh, they have a Bob and
Hmm.
Weave on one of the teams. That's good.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, they all have
yeah, I
Bob and
believe
Weave.
it was the winner, the runner up, and then the world champ.
Yeah, world finalist.
I
Yeah,
believe it's top three in each division.
yeah. Dang. Yeah, the senior division. Oh man, these are really cool lineups. These are really really cool.
Like I said, it's more reflective of the time because each team has a Tyranitar for Sand.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the focus sash as well, and good move sets. Yeah, everything
Hmm.
about it is just great. You can challenge the Unova League, but yeah, I think that looks like it was the last one.
Yeah,
20
I
till
like I said, I
2013.
believe
Yeah.
that was probably the best part of it was
Yeah.
battling the
Mhm.
actual world champion at the time at least.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really cool. Oh man, I gotta go back to these games again. I miss it.
Yeah.
I feel like I say that on every game nowadays. Like, oh, I need to replay this game. I need to replay this
So
game.
with probably one of the coolest edition features, we move on to probably the worst edition feature introduced in Black and White 2, Pokstar Studios. Now, depending on who you are and what kind of person you are, this could have been either the coolest thing they added or like how most people enjoyed it, the worst thing they added
Mhm.
because it essentially is forced upon you at the beginning of the game, for preventing you from traveling further and continuing your Pokemon journey. You are forced to come in here, go through a lot of text just to get through it. But essentially,
Yeah.
what it does is they go and take you, and you basically act out a script that you are given in a mock battle. And you're supposed to go to the script, what the script says. There are very few options. There is like a sarcastic or like a bad option
Mhm.
that you can pick, and it'll give you like a bad score. The movie will be bad and people won't want to see it. Or you could follow the script and do everything right, and then like the movie will be a hit. And I don't think there's like any rewards for it. I think it's just like you like see like the finished product and people are like
Yeah.
super cool. They removed one of the gym leaders, Bryson, to actually be here because I guess his character is like he was a movie star back in the day, and
Yeah.
now that's what he's doing again. And
Yeah.
you are an up and coming Pokstar Studio star as Riolu Man fighting Bryce Man and his evil team of dark Pokemon.
Yeah. Also, look over here. Bryson Man is used as a Pokemon.
Right?
Like, he's an actual Pokemon with a levitate ability,
And
and
he's at the eject button.
yeah, that is so funny.
And I think probably one of the coolest things they have is fighting the Mecha Tyranitar.
Hmm.
I just don't know which one of those it is, but
Uh,
basically it's like on a green screen. Like the battle takes place on a green screen against like a little green like steel plate or whatever,
yeah.
and you're fighting the thing, doing the script and whatnot. But then when you actually like watch the movie, yeah, there it
Hmm.
is. You see the Mecha Tyranitar
That's
and like
cool.
all like the cut-in stuff like that. Yeah, it's actually really cool. And each of like the films have like their own story and multiple episodes to do them in and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So you could use your Pokemon if you want to put it in the film, but you could also use like a rental Pokemon to do it, and it would like follow the script and have like super effective moves and whatnot to
Ooh.
fight against.
Yeah.
And I
Dang.
believe if you go back to the very first homepage, if you have a shiny Pokemon and you put it in the movie, it actually has access to a special effect on the film itself. It's not the normal shiny effect. Or no, my bad, I'm misremembering it. You get a special shine to your effect to your Pokemon if it's a movie star.
Mm.
My bad. So if you like complete the things and like you make the star, you finish the films and you do them all to the best of your ability, your Pokemon will get like a little star effect when
Mm.
you throw it into battle.
Gotcha. Gotcha. That makes sense.
But yeah, there's like the steel plate and the green screen fighting against the thing. And then I believe each female and male have like their own special like character. I know Riolu Man is the boy, but I don't know what it is for the girl. Depending on who you are, I think it's neat. I just don't think they should have forced it on you.
Yeah. Uh.
I feel like maybe they should like there should have been like stuff on the routes like come to Pokéstar Studios and whatnot like later on,
Mm.
rather than make you do it.
Yeah.
But that's just me. So
So.
with that said, Pokéstar Studios, love it or hate it, let us know in the comments. But going forward, this is into our final chapter here of the Black and White 2 saga.
The plot.
Been going on for a while. Is the storyline changes that they added to Black 2 and White 2?
Yes.
So Alex, would you like to go ahead and start?
Yeah. So everything is completely flipped with like where you start at. This game starts 3 years. Is that right? 3 years?
I think it's 3 or 2. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years or so after the events of Pokemon Black and White. And so it is actually a sequel, not only in terms of the number, but chronologically, it is a sequel. And so, yeah, basically, you start not in Nuvema Town, because that's frozen over right now. You start in Aspertia? Yeah, so if you look like right over here, so where you're from is frozen over. You can't go to it. So you start on the far west side. Now you're on the west side? Yeah, so you start on the west side, and you move your way clockwise from there, and then the plot basically will happen later on. But Silent, Chili, and Cress, Lenora, and Bryson are replaced as in their spot as gym leaders. So now Charon is the first gym leader, and he has normal types.
Following
Yeah.
on from his adventures
Yeah.
from Black and White,
Exactly.
he's decided to become a gym leader.
Yeah, he's decided to settle. Really, is
Yeah,
what
he's
happened.
decided for settle for becoming a gym leader.
Yeah. So
In Aspertia City.
yeah, because there's like the Pokemon school over there, so he's like the headmaster as well. But yeah, then there's a new city. I forget what the name of it is.
Verbank.
Yeah, Verbank, where now you have a poison type gym leader as a second gym leader. Lenore has stepped down, and now it's Roxy. It's a new character. Roxy is a poison type gym leader of Verbank. And also
rocker, man.
Yeah, she's a punk rocker, bro.
She's a punk rocker.
Yeah,
man.
she's
like,
punk
where
rock.
are you?
And yeah, punk rocker, but sings rock ballads, bro.
Yeah, she's got a pretty cool gym.
Yeah.
It's like an underground, like
it's like a dive bar, basically.
Yeah, it's basically a dive bar with the PG-ness of a dive bar.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
yeah, not the actual
cool. You
like,
have to battle her,
not Gas Mask guy or anything like that.
no Gas Mask guy. You have to battle her band members to actually get her to battle because she's singing so loud. The music's so loud she can't hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have to battle the drummer and I believe does Roxy play bass?
I believe she plays bass.
Yeah. So you have to battle the drummer and the lead guitarist in order to battle Roxy.
Let's see.
Here, let's find out. This is important. Does Roxy play bass?
I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's a bass. That is a bass.
Roxy
100%.
is the bassist.
Which it is kind of a sick looking bass. It looks almost like a BC Rich, like a Warlock. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
I actually think it's a Scolipede. If you never played one of those before.
I know I have not played a Scolipede before.
You never played a Scolipede before? They make pretty good sound, bro.
Do they? I gotta check them out. Maybe I'll play it at my local music store.
There you go. Yes. So Roxy is a poison type gym leader. Sharon, surprisingly, is a normal type gym leader.
Yeah.
From there, and then there's also another one. I don't remember the town he's from though. If you could scroll down to it.
Yeah. So now our other new gym leader is Humilau. And Marlin, he's our 8th gym leader now. So the numbers have kind of changed around a little bit because Drayden was the 8th gym leader beforehand, Drayden and Iris.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're the 7th gym leader, while Marlin is the 8th gym leader. And it's a water type, so it's kind of like harkening back to Gen 3 in Sutopolis. But
he's got a pretty neat gym too, with like the traveling on the lily pads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like different design on there. Also,
But
I
yeah,
like that beach kind of area on Humalau. I like that area.
Humalao,
It was
yeah.
cool.
I believe Marlin was at the time of his reveal was a controversial character.
Was he?
It's not so much, yeah, it's not so much seen here, but you can see how like Marlin is very colorful on his top half, but his legs are pure white.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hold on, let's bring it
I
up.
mean, like I said, it's up to you how you interpret it, but people were
How was that?
pretty intrigued by Lenora because she was, I believe, the first person of color to be a gym leader.
Mm-hmm.
And then they introduced Marlin, which they were like, "Oh, cool, we're getting more people of color." But then it just so happens to be that Marlin has a
He's so tanned
very,
out. Yeah.
very dark tan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least on a design choice, I could kind of see it where it's like it's if his top half is out while he's swimming, then it's like, yeah, maybe he'll get tanned over. And then you can see like where his tan lines are like at his hips and then on his
I didn't
feet
have a
where
problem
they're
with it.
like
I
under the
just think
water.
it's a
But
little too dark.
yeah, yeah, I mean, I had friends that play like water polo and like on the swim team and stuff like that, and I can't remember any of them like being this
Get
like
this dark,
tan on the top half of their bodies.
right?
Like
So,
that's
like I said,
kind
a
of
little bit of a
it's a
controversial,
bit
but
extra.
yeah. Also, he's a merman
Yeah, merman. Water
because he's
is
got
the
a
essence of
fucking
moisture.
speedo
Moisture is the
pants
essence of beauty.
with fins on it,
Yeah. But why male models?
right?
Yeah. But
So yeah, those are the three new gym leaders introduced.
yeah.
And like I
Uh,
said, you start on Western Unova instead of Eastern Unova.
yeah.
It's pretty cool. Also, that's like their excuse for introducing a bunch of new Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
before you go on. And
Also,
they're also
yeah.
still like sprinkled in, but they're not as much as they are in the beginning
Yeah.
rounds.
Also, you're not getting your starter by Professor Juniper this time around because before she'd give you like the little gift box when you're in your room, but now
Uh-huh.
you talk to Bianca, who's also she's doing her thing.
Assistant. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a professor's assistant, which is also
yes,
funny because it starts in the beginning of the game.
yeah.
Your mother is friends with Professor Juniper, and that's
Mm.
why she sends Bianca to give you the Pokemon.
Gotcha. But
But
yeah.
yes, Bianca, following through from her previous story in Black and White, has become a full-fledged trainer
Mm-hmm.
and is also now being a assistant to Professor Juniper,
Juniper, yes. But
and is distributing starter Pokemon as well as Pokedexes to new and upcoming trainers.
mm-hmm. And now you have a new rival since this is a sequel. You're not playing as the same character. You're not playing as Hilda or Hilbert. You are
Hmm.
playing as
Sasuke.
yeah,
Or well,
Sasuke.
no, your new rival's name is Sasuke,
Yeah,
aka Hugh,
Hugh.
because the dude talks about his rage like every 5 seconds,
For a
and that he's
second, I
gonna
thought
unleash his rage.
like for a second I thought like the name was actually Sasuke, but
No.
also yeah. But
Yes, his name is Hugh, and he has a little bit of a backstory with
mhm,
Team Plasma. I believe
yeah.
it's during the events of the first game that they steal his sister's Purloin,
Mm-hmm.
and he holds a grudge against Team Plasma. So
Mm-hmm.
anytime they show up, he talks about how he's going to unleash his rage.
Yeah.
And trust me, I say it like it's a joke, but it is
No, it's like
definitely, he
it's like
says
a
it all the
bloodlust.
time.
It's like a bloodlust at this point.
Yeah.
It's like he will
So
stop at nothing to like have their heads on a pike,
right.
basically.
So he definitely has a grudge against Team Plasma, and
Yeah.
surprise, surprise, the
Mm-hmm.
evil team in this game
Is
is Team
still
Plasma.
yeah.
Neo Team Plasma, as they're
Yeah.
called. They actually got an upgrade on their suits because originally they had like, if you could pull it up, they had like, I guess you could say it's like a winter coat with a
Mm-hmm.
hood.
Yeah.
I don't know how you describe their outfits in black and white. It's like they had an undersuit and then they wore like this giant white
Yeah.
overcoat.
It's like a weird like cult kind of thing.
As to Neo Team Plasma with their
Where
operator ass
yeah,
fucking
looking like
uniforms
yeah.
and their berets,
Mm-hmm.
looking like a legit squad.
Looking like militant basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also now they're run by Colress instead of Getsis, as
Right.
we know.
Who is this scientist whose ambition is to see the full potential of Pokemon unlocked, and to do that, he believes it is done through the power of science. So he's a very sciencey looking guy,
Mm-hmm. He's a
and
stupid science bitch.
yeah, and like I said, he believes in unlocking Pokemon's potential through the power of science, and that leads him down a pretty what do you call it, morally bankrupt path.
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
he,
let's
you
say
know,
yeah,
is
let's say that.
aligning himself with Team Plasma just to, get what he wants done.
Yeah.
You can see a little like thing of it where he creates a device that messes with a bunch of, I believe it's crystals to block your path,
Mhm.
and then uses his device to unblock it
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
Let's see.
But yes, he's not super sinister. He's just like emotionless for the most part.
Yeah.
He likes to spit his rhetoric at you for a while. And where everything in this game goes wrong is, I believe, Opelucid City, where Team Plasma reveals their hand as they are looking for a item that is held by Drayden, the gym leader of Opelucid City,
Mhm.
that he's held on to. It's supposed to be an ancient relic. And Team Plasma actually show up in a flying pirate ship,
Mhm.
and attack the city using a ice cannon. You also can access the ship earlier.
Yeah.
You see it actually when you first come to Castalia City. It's
Mhm.
called the Plasma
The
Frigate,
frigate. Yeah.
and it actually freezes over the entire city. And you can see the new ice theme reflected in the sages, at least the sages that stayed,
Mhm.
wearing their giant puffer coats.
Mhm.
And we also get introduced to a new section of Team Plasma in the Shadow Triad, who you battle and who exclusively use Dark types and whatnot.
Yeah.
But essentially, you board the Plasma Frigate and you fight yourself to the center of it, and it is revealed that Kirim, the Team Plasma has captured Kirim and are using it to power the ice cannon in
Mhm.
the ship. And then I believe you battle Colress and beat him, and he takes off the cannon, but they do take you to
The
was it
giant chasm.
the giant chasm where they originally captured Kirim, and it is
Mhm.
revealed that they are using it or they're doing all this, and they have stolen the item that was Drayden was holding on to, and they're using it to bait out a
N.
returning character, N, yeah, with his legendary Pokemon. And as he arrives to stop Team Plasma and stop Getsis, who's also coincidentally here, Getsis uses the item he stole from Drayden, the DNA splicers, to basically essentially steal Zekrom or Reshiram, depending on which version you're playing, and fuse it with Kyurem,
Mhm.
creating the Kyurem White and Kyurem Black forms. And I love when it happens, because there's like this whole cutscene that happens, and the Pokemon changes, and N is kind of just standing there like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened?
Mhm. Yeah, it's
And
like I just want to be pure.
and if you thought that, oh, I'll just battle and capture it, Getsis has a staff that actually prevents the capture of Pokemon, so you do
Yeah.
actually have to fight it and beat it.
Mhm.
Which, depending on your team composition, will either be super
Honestly, isn't.
hard or not
Yeah.
that hard.
Yeah, it's usually not that bad.
And once you defeat the legendary Pokemon, it splits and they both fuck off.
Mhm.
And then Getsis, in a rage, is your final battle once again
Mhm.
because you've stomped on his plans twice.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
you
is it
fight.
really you?
Is it
Yeah.
really you?
Yeah.
And you beat him once more, and thus the Team Plasma finally collapses and scatters across the region once more,
Mhm. As we know.
as they do.
Until Black and White 3.
Until Black and White, and yeah, until the Black and White remakes come out, and then we get Black and White 3.
Yeah, they probably won't talk about Black and White 2 in those games. It'll probably just be dog shit. No.
God, I swear, if this is a faithful remake of Black and White,
It's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
lose it.
yeah. They're gonna force Ilka to make it safe again, like BDSP, and then it's gonna be the same shit over again. Oh,
Scroll down a little bit.
yeah. And then you have to deal with Colress post game as well at the P2 lab. So that's where you
Mm-hmm.
got all the extra stuff for Genesect in Black and White 1, as we talked about
Mm-hmm.
last episode. But
Which I would assume, because he has a bunch of steel types, I would assume Colress had something to do with the Genesect project.
yeah, probably.
I don't think they actually offer any hints as to whether or not he did, but
I'm pretty sure he had a big hand in it.
he's definitely responsible for the Plasma Frigate as well as the Kyurem incident and whatnot.
Hmm. Yeah.
But with all that said and done, you are allowed to travel to Humalau City and beat the 8th gym leader, I believe.
Hmm.
And then you get to challenge the Elite Four once more.
Right.
Elite Four hasn't changed. It's still the same. It's still Chantal, Caitlyn, Grimsley, and what's the fighting guy's name? I can't remember his name.
Shit.
Marshall.
Marshall, yeah. But
was.
the
Sorry.
champion is different this time. No Alder, but also
Yes.
this is the first time. Well, actually, with this, the main playthrough, you actually battle the champion, unlike Generation or like Black and White, where you had to like go through the whole Team Plasma plot. That's over before you get to the Elite Four.
Hmm.
So the champion, not Alder, it is Iris.
I
Iris
actually
is the
love
new champion.
Iris's design.
It's
and,
better
and
this
it's,
time around. It's
yeah,
better.
and her
Her
like
team is
her
pretty good too.
theme. Yeah, the theme is like ridiculous. I love the
Yeah.
theme
It's
for
all pretty
Iris's
good.
battle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as much as I find Iris annoying in the anime, like her in the game was a lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her
And
character is a lot better in the games for sure.
mhm.
I love the design. I love the theme. I love her team. She's got that dragon team going, but she also has like Archeops and
Lapras.
Aggron and Lapras
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But it's just so good. I love
Mhm.
everything about the final
Yeah.
challenge because it's actually a challenge this time. You don't actually have to get interrupted by Team
Yeah.
Plasma and their
Exactly.
shenanigans during your Elite Four
This is
challenge.
more of
It's
a
just
traditional Elite Four.
right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love Iris as the champion instead of Alder. Alder, had his time in the limelight,
Mhm.
except he got his ass beat
Yeah.
last time. And I think it would have been just dumb to put Alder in this position,
Alder's probably the most forgettable champion out of all of them, in my opinion.
right?
Like, I feel like he just they didn't even have him in the main playthrough. That's so sad.
Right. Not to mention they also push his, I think it's his nephew Banjiro or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. In the Black Forest or something like that,
Yeah, Black Forest, White Forest.
or
Well, yeah, which
Black City, White Forest. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I wish that the Lapras had like Perish Song instead of Sing. I feel like that's like a signature move for Lapras. Like
Hmm.
every time I battle one in a competitive environment, it always has Perish Song.
The second round, does she change her team, or is it?
Yeah, second round she does not
Oh,
actually.
she does. She gets Salam instead of Druddigan.
Oh, in the challenge mode, yeah,
Oh, is the challenge mode? My
yeah,
bad. I thought
yeah,
that was the
yeah, in the challenge
round
mode,
two.
but yeah, round
That's
two
cool.
challenge mode she gets Salamence instead of Druddigan, which is a smart choice, but also it has the quad weak to ice, so.
So after you've beaten the game, you actually get access to a lot more stuff. So you can
Hmm.
catch the Hoenn and Sinnoh Pokemon legendaries like we talked about before,
Hmm.
and there's a bunch of like side stories to those. You can also encounter. Well, you could encounter the Swords of Justice
Two of
trio a
them
lot
at least.
earlier in your game. The big thing is that Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem are all locked behind post game.
Yeah.
So you do have to defeat the Elite Four. You don't actually get the legendary handed to you before the
Mm-mm.
champion battle.
No, yeah, they're a difficult battle, level 70.
Mhm.
But also, after you get Kyurem, you get the DNA splicers, so you can make your own black and white Kyurem.
Hmm.
Yeah. But you also, as we mentioned earlier, you get access to a bunch of other Sinnoh and Hoenn legendaries.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't think the DNA splicers are like game specific. So I don't think
mm,
your black Kyurem and your
no.
like if you traded a Reshiram to Pokemon, what
Yeah,
black, you
it
could
wouldn't
still fuse
matter.
it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could fuse it. Mm-hmm.
they made
And
Latios and Latios a static encounter. I don't believe it's
yeah, not
roaming
roaming. Yeah, you
anymore.
just got to run around in the dream yard with it post game.
Hmm.
Um,
And it'll get to one spot, and then you could
yeah.
battle it.
Exactly. And they're level 68, which is a lot higher than their other counterparts of Gen 3, where it's like
I
level
believe
40-ish.
I believe with the Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, you do have to like go to this cave, and then once it does that, they'll spread across the region, and they're interactable encounters.
Yeah, Cave of Being.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then
And then with Regirock and Registeel, or no, Regice and oh yeah, so you get Regirock in the regular one, but
just
Regice and
regular.
Registeel is the one where you have to communicate with the opposite version of your game to get the
Exactly.
key, I believe.
Yeah, so they have like the keys that you turn off and on in the menu before you turn on the game.
Right, and I believe it's the same area that
Yeah.
they're all in.
And that's all
It's
used
just
with the Univalink, which we first mentioned earlier.
yeah, so you can get Regirock in both versions, but once you do that, that's when you can communicate with the other version of the game to send over the key
Mm-hmm.
to get it, and then once you get all three, you have access to Regigigas.
Yep.
Which is it the same thing or is it a different area? It says Twist
Twist
Mountain.
Mountain. Yeah, so uh yeah, it's in the basement of it.
Okay. And then obviously the last two I believe are Cresselia,
Cresselia
which
and
is once again a static encounter
mm-hmm.
instead of a roaming.
Yeah,
And then
and
he
Heatran
ran.
has its own domicile again. in Unova as it did in Sinnoh.
Which is nice.
Yeah, but not like it's a bad Pokemon. It's just overused.
Right, we did talk about Kerbalion, Virizion, and Terrakion.
Yeah.
Lenora now serves as a true museum expert and is also the person to revive fossils, which you can get
Yes.
from Twist Mountain, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you have access to all of them.
Yeah.
So everything
Exactly.
pre-Gen 4, because there were Gen 5 fossils, yeah.
Yeah. No Gen. Wait. No. There was Caracosta and Arceus.
Yeah, as I said,
Yeah.
there were Gen 5
Yeah.
fossils.
There's no Gen 2 fossils, but
Yeah, there are no Gen 2 fossils, Sag.
all right.
However, there is a new thing using Unova Link if you have interact with save file from Black and White, where you could capture. After the events of Black and White, it seems that N has released his Pokemon that he used to battle with you throughout the entire time, and these Pokemon can be found in the wild and have a special effect and still carry the original trainer and ID of N, which is 000 all the way to, I believe, which is pretty cool. There are a select few of them. I don't believe they can be shiny, which is pretty sad.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been pretty cool. But you know,
yeah,
if you
there's a
have
good
them,
spread of them.
he's definitely had a lot of Pokemon over the course of the games.
Yeah.
But like I said, they're pretty neat. And if you carry them and transform on, they'll always be. We did talk about catching Reshiram, Kyurem, and Zekrom, but I believe Zekrom and Reshiram have more of a story to it because I believe you do have to go battle N in the ruins of the N's castle in Victory Road. And then once you defeat him there, I believe Reshiram and Zekrom will be available to interact at the Dragon Spiral Tower. And then that's where you can capture them.
Right. That is true. Yeah, and like we said before, they're level 70 battles, so yeah, they're pretty difficult. Like most other legendary battles are pretty strong over here. Also,
they are,
yeah.
but I think it's the same thing where like the encounter is like super easy.
Yeah.
If you could read the text blurb there, does it say you have to be N first? I think you have to. But I believe it's an event only is Keldeo.
Yeah, the Sword
You
of
have
Justice.
you have to receive Keldeo through an event because I don't believe you catch it in game. But it does have access to a new form where if you take it to the
Pledge Grove.
Yes, Pledge Grove. There's like a giant rock, and if you take Keldeo there, it'll learn Sacred Sword, which activates its new form.
Yes, the Resolution form.
Yeah, the Resolute form, which gives it the little, the bigger horn as well as like the little, little feathers.
Yep.
Does it do a stat change?
Let's see.
No, it's the same.
Yeah. So it's just aesthetic.
It's just aesthetic. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There's also Meloetta, I think, but I think we also talked about it in the last episode, but just a quick blurb here. Meloetta has access to two different forms, its dance form and its sing form. With, I believe, you have to have Relic Song in order to change it. And Meloetta's dance form, I believe, is normal fighting, whereas Meloetta's sing form is just straight, is normal psychic?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a shame that Meloetta got kind of shafted in this game.
It did. And I feel like it got
Victini
forgotten compared to the other mythical, like, pixie Pokemon.
Yeah, like Victini got like the whole Liberty Garden thing, which is pretty cool. I really wish they would have done something with Meloetta because it's tied to that like bar or whatever where that guitarist
it's like a coffee shop.
Yeah, and it's just like it's weird that Meloetta doesn't have anything else besides that. I feel like it could have more stuff to do. I don't know. I just feel sad that it's basically been forgotten. Same thing with
Exactly.
Genesect had a movie, but Genesect is also kind of just like forgotten as well.
Exactly. Like they never really dealt too much with Genesect in the games. Let's say.
Right.
Yeah. It's just but also in Flockacy Town, we didn't talk about it earlier, but if you wanted to talk about these shinies over here.
Yeah, I think somehow we skipped over it, but they did revamp Black City and White Forest.
Yeah.
By adding some sort of like battle thing. I don't think it's the battle tree. It's like some sort of battling system, but if you battle and you do like it's basically like any battle facility, like you do like a 50 win combo or something like that, you get to battle Alder's nephew. I think his name is Banjiro. Benga I think it's a Banjiro in Japanese, but in English they said his name is Benga.
Yeah.
And if you defeat him within the battle facility, whatever it is, on different versions, he'll give you a
Oh, the tree
shiny.
hollow.
Yeah, he'll give you a black tower in the tree hall. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Shiny Gibble or a shiny Tratini. I believe it's different versions exclusive.
Yeah. So Gibble is in Black City, Dratini's in White Forest.
So white users get the better end of that deal because Gibble's cool, but once it evolves, it's garbage.
Yeah, but also Shiny Dragonite's dog shit too.
What are you talking about? Shiny Dragonite's awesome.
Shiny Dragonite's probably one of the worst shinies ever.
It's dark green. It's a big green dragon.
It's vomit green. Like if it was like neon green, I could get it. But like this looks like, ugh. It looks like it just got out of a bog.
That's a lot better. Look at the Gen 3 one. The Gen 3 one is like.
It looked like it just got out of a bog. Oh god. Oh god, what the hell? Like it looks like one of Barney's like rejected siblings.
Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah. Ugh, it's terrible.
Anywho.
But also Garchomp's is no better. At least it's just boring and not like offensive.
It should be pink. Like it's I guess Mega Evolution.
Wait, where is it? Yeah. Oh yeah, I couldn't even tell. I was like, "Where's the shiny one?"
Corporate needs you to identify the changes between these two photos.
They're the same.
The exact same. But yeah, as the definitive version of Gen 5, and with so much added into it, not only with just the story, but all the added features of like the Lost Item Quest, the World Tournament, Pokstar Studios, the revamps to Enter Link and Black City and White Forest, as well as the Shiny Charm, the reward for the Pokedex, and hang on, I'm just like going through everything. The new edition of Swarms, the new Pokemon that you can catch. It's tough to compare this to Black and White because Black and White kind of is the base for Gen 5.
Yeah.
But I feel like Black and White 2
perfected it.
Even though you need the content from Black and White to understand the story of Black and White 2. I just feel like Black and White 2 blows Black and White out of the water.
Oh yeah, that's not even a doubt in my mind. Like there's so much stuff to do, and it's one of those things where they like it's not just like the new experience like Black and White tried to make it out to be. Is that this one is like the full like everybody gathered together. This is the full Pokemon experience right here, and I think that this was the last great Pokemon game. Like the last like wow, oh my god, this is incredible Pokemon game. Because everything after that is like there's stuff that's like fine or whatever.
As of this moment,
but,
Scarlet and Violet is 3 months away.
Yeah,
which could
it could be good. Like I'm very hopeful. We got like 3 months left, but as of right now, Black and White 2 I think are the last like just incredible Pokemon games where they just added everything to it. I mean, there's a couple things that were just whatever, but they weren't like offensively bad, and they weren't like frustrating. Like everything about this game is
definitely
just
in the top 3 up there with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Emerald.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is definitely a top 3 Pokemon game for sure. So, I mean, I think it kind of goes without saying, but final rating.
I'd say a 9 out of 10. I can't give it the perfect out of 10 just because like there are a couple things that I would like to do, like rematch gym leaders outside of the Pokemon World Tournament.
Yeah, I can see
following Pokemon, at Battle Frontier. Like I said, I don't think there'll ever be a 10 out of 10 Pokemon game that I could give like even Gen 1 I wouldn't give a 10 out of 10 to.
I wouldn't give Gen 1 a 10 out of 10.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. No, I said I wouldn't.
Oh, you wouldn't? Okay.
No,
yeah.
I would not.
I don't think there'll ever be a Pokemon game that I could give a 10 out of 10 to, but like the ones that are close, obviously, like I said, I already told them earlier, Black and White 2, Emerald, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver. I don't know why I was blanking on that, but yeah, like it's too good of a Pokemon game to not be talked about more. And I mean, it is, but I just feel like
it is now.
It is now. I just feel like we have to do our part and spread the word to people that have never played it. So if you do whatever you can to play it, you won't be
if you could find a copy of it that's affordable.
Yeah, if you can find a copy under $100.
Those DS cartridges are so freaking expensive, especially Black and White 2. Those ones have really gone up in price. But for me, like, I'm giving this game, you know what? I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. I was going to say a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9.5 because there's that slight room of improvement, like you said, with, like, following Pokemon, like, the very, very minor things.
Right, because you have to think about it. They still have the Dream World in this, so there are those sprites that are just in that area, like, to go and catch them, right? so like the following sprites are in the game. Like I don't understand why you didn't just have them follow you again.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, we had to make new sprites for the Gen 5 Pokemon. You already have them. You made them.
Yeah.
So why didn't she just do
Also,
that?
having the Therian Pokemon locked in a paywall technically was kind of
Technically.
stupid. Yeah, but I mean,
Well, no. Can't you get the revealing glass in this game?
can you? Well,
I
at
think you
least
can get.
getting them even, just
Well,
like
you
having the
can trade
common
them. You
technically,
can.
but that's
You,
also another paywall technically.
oh, because if you bought Black and White, you could trade them. But yeah, like you
Tech,
said, I believe the revealing glasses in this game, you can change the forms.
yeah.
I actually think you can use it in battle, but it won't show up in Black and White. It'll just show up as its regular form,
Oh, weird.
which is kind of weird.
Yeah, but is there anything else that you want to add for the people at
Go
home?
out and buy Black and White too.
Yeah, consume product. What?
Consume product. No,
Okay.
that's I think I've said everything I could say about it.
Okay, cool.
But
So,
yeah.
yeah, thank you guys, everybody, for watching
Actually,
this.
I'll
My
run
God,
the outro. Thank you very much. Thank you
you.
guys for listening to the Pokemon Babblers podcast. We do our best every 2 weeks to come up with what we can think of for each generation of games. Obviously, we've run out of games for Gen 5 with Black and White and Black and White 2. So next time we'll probably end up doing Platinum, and I think we
Yeah,
might
Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I don't think we're gonna do separate videos for those because Platinum is basically the definitive experience, and
Mm,
there's not too much that
yeah.
changes there. So we'll roll those all together. We did
Hmm.
Black and White and Black and White 2 separate just because there was so much difference in between them both.
Yeah.
But Gen 4, we're just gonna roll into one little package, and then we'll get to the other game in Gen 4, which will probably have
A
our
special
a new
guest.
first for our series. Maybe have a surprise guest for you all.
Yeah.
But until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I hope you all have a great day, and bye-bye.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more updates to Babblers. So, yeah, go ahead and subscribe right over there. Peace!